Hey everyone, it's Ryan from the Breeders' Crown, and we're here with a weekend update from the Lexington Grand Circuit, the last stop on the road to the 2021 Breeders' Crown. The limbs will be October 22nd and October 23rd. The 2-year-olds will go on Friday night. The 3-year-olds in the open events will go on Saturday nights. We're going to jump right into the 3-year-old and the open races that happened from the Red Mile on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. We're going to start with the 3-year-old filly Pacers. Test of Faith has been the star of the division the entire year. Always at the top of the Hambletonian Society power rankings, and she's just proven herself all year long. She is the horse and the filly to beat in this division. Now, the cool thing about this division is that we haven't exactly had the matchups all year long like we've kind of thought. Hot Mess Express, who is not in this race, has been kind of chilling out in Indiana the whole time, dominating her races. She's only lost 2 races. Test of Faith has only lost 2 races. We really haven't seen them collide at all. And Hot Mess Express is not eligible to the Breeders' Crown. So it's going to be interesting to see if they supplement to that, which, why not? Why not supplement? It's your last race. So we've had Test of Faith, we've had Hot Mess Express at the top of the division. Then for a little bit, we had Firestart Hanover, the Breeders' Crown champion as a freshman. She has made a lot of progress this year. And with her stablemate also, Grace Hill. Those two have been battling it out early August, mid-September. And then you throw in Blue Diamond Eyes. And we've got an actual division here. But Test of Faith, she's got post 9 here. And she clearly has been the class of the field. And as you see here, she's third over. And this was a chance for Firestart Hanover, for Grace Hill, for Blue Diamond Eyes, who are all near the front right now. We're at the top of the stretch. So these are your 3 competition. And then you're just going to see Test of Faith just kind of put the boot on the throat and just say, no, this is my division. It was cute while you guys were kind of battling it out, but this is my division. She wins by open lengths. Firestart Hanover finishes second. Firestart Hanover had that was her race. Off the pace, racing from behind. That was her race to kind of keep up with Test of Faith, show that she kind of belonged in this division. Test of Faith had everything go wrong for her in that race. Third over, excess cover, post 9, and it was pretty easy for her. So we're going to look forward to a possible matchup where Hot Mess Express has to supplement to the Breeders' Crown. Hot Mess Express versus Test of Faith. That'll be an interesting matchup. Firestart Hanover could throw a monkey wrench into the fray if Hot Mess Express is in there. Grace Hill, Blue Diamond Eyes, they're all decent fillies, but I don't think that they're up to the matchup of Test of Faith. We move on to the 3-year-old Colt Pacers. Now, the 3-year-old Colt Pacers is the toughest division. Every horse in this race, for at least one race, can beat anybody. We've had every year, 3-year-old Colt Pacers, 3-year-old Colt Pacers. They're always good. They're always good. They're always good. This field is just stacked, and just like this race, the Tattersall's Pace, just like the Breeders' Crown, just like the Meadowlands Pace, North America Cup, every race that you throw out, Little Brown Jug, you never know who's going to win because they all can beat each other week after week after week. It's going to be a competitive race. It's going to be a competitive field. We look forward to it. We've got Southwind Gendry, who driver changed from Yannick Gingras to Tim Tetrick. Yannick Gingras is driving Luz Perlman, the Jug winner. Perfect Sting, Breeders' Crown champion. He seems to always be first, second, or third no matter where he is, which is good. He's going to be the headliner, I guess, in this race, but he's not the best horse in this race, or he's not the horse that everybody expects to win. It's just he's the horse we expect to be right at the wire. Abekobet Hanover, all year long, even going back to last year's Breeders' Crown, has had issues with braking, with gate problems. We know he's got the speed. We know he can, another horse that can win, and he's going to end up winning this race. But do we trust him? We trust Perfect Sting at this point. We know he's going to be right there. He can be handled no matter what. Right now, Perfect Sting is sitting in the 2-hole. A Buckabet Hanover, a perfect trip. Luz Perlman, Southwind Gendry, stablemates, battling it out. And then Charlie May is just the other horse that everybody kind of forgets about. He got a kind of a rough trip here. Post 12, he's way, way, way on the outside. Post 12, really never got into the race. But Charlie May knows how to close. And again, look at the finish to this race. All 12 horses are kind of close. You know, I know it's a spread out field, but look at these 4 going down to the finish. Perfect Sting just gets nosed out by a Buckabet Hanover. Southwind Gendry right on the line there, just like last year. Southwind Gendry and Perfect Sting battling it out last year. Charlie May throws his name into the mix here. Luz Perlman, maybe half-mile track is his only best race, but I expect him to be a little bit better going into the Breeders' Crown. No horses are going to be supplemented to this race. No horses need to be supplemented. So there's 5 or 6 horses that could win the Breeders' Crown. You could have 2 different, if there's a limbs, which I expect to be because this field is deep, you could have 2 different limb winners, and then those 2 limb winners, if you told me that the 2 limb winners finished 5th and 6th in the final, I wouldn't be surprised, because going back to last year, there were 7 across the track. It was one of our best races. Tall Dark Stranger was upset by Sand Between My Toes in a just throw a blanket over the field. That's what they used to say. So the 3-year-old Colt Pace will be one of the most exciting matchups. Unfortunately, Perfect Sting, because he hasn't won, he hasn't developed the star power, even though he is going to be a stallion next year. Side note, he was one of the donations into the breedings for the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge. So that's awesome. So Perfect Sting is the headliner, I guess. But if he didn't win and if he finished 7th, I don't think any of us would be surprised, because that field is just so stacked. So it's always a race that we're all looking forward to. Now we're moving on to the 3-year-old filly trotters. This field all year has just been kind of okay. We had Bella Bellini, the Hambletonian Oaks champion. She's post 5 in this race. And she's going to get upset by Katie's Lucky Day. Post 11. Now, Katie's Lucky Day, man, that sucks when you have post 11 and the one horse breaks in front of you. But that almost looked to me as a bonus for Katie's Lucky Day. Didn't even bother her. She's going to get away about 8th, 9th here in a terrible, terrible spot. Katie's Lucky Day supplemented to this race, and she's just been dominant on the Ohio circuit. And this was time to step up. This was time to try it out. Another horse breaks alongside of her. That's 2 horses breaks alongside of her. And just perfect. I mean, perfect to drive. You Oughta Dream and Jeff Gregory, I love when he is aggressive with this horse. I don't know if he's going to win this race, the Breeders' Crown Final, or in a limb, but You Oughta Dream, her best race is when he is aggressive. I think hopefully Gregory learned. He was very passive in the Hambletonian limbs and ended up getting a bad post in the final because he wasn't aggressive. When the week before he was super aggressive with the horse, You Oughta Dream needs to be aggressive. All his other races down the road, and that's when she races her best. Impressive Hill, Jordan Deroux had to take a shot from the 10 hole. I don't know if he should have maybe let Bella Bellini go right here. Too much pressure. Empress Hill goes off stride. Bella Bellini inherits the lead. She's the best horse in the race. Katie's Lucky Day ends up getting free, clear, and just is going to grind down our Hambletonian Oaks champion. So Katie's Lucky Day needs to supplement to the Breeders' Crown. Now, I would assume you supplement to the Kentucky Futurity, Philly Futurity, to see if we can eventually supplement to the Breeders' Crown. And they got a big fat check here. Katie's Lucky Day just noses out Bella Bellini. So I expect Katie's Lucky Day to supplement to the Breeders' Crown. Lurking in the background is Donna Soprano. Now, Donna Soprano, again, favorite last year in the Mohawk Million as a 2-year-old. Didn't get the job done. Didn't get the job done in the Breeders' Crown. Comes back. Was sick on Hambletonian Day. So she's good. We know she's good. But, man, every time this horse needs to put in a big race or just show up on the biggest races of her career, she's just not there. So Donna Soprano lurking in the background. We look forward to a try matchup between Bella Bellini and Katie's Lucky Day and Donna Soprano, with You Oughta Dream kind of in the mix there. I hope Gregory is aggressive in both the elim and the final. Do not drive just to make the final. Go out and win the thing. Go out and win your elim. You can do it. Love when other horses can kind of get thrown into the mix and really showcase what they're all about. We're going to move on to the 3-year-old trotters. Now, Captain Corey, obviously, Hambletonian champion, he's out. That has left a big void. Quattro de Julio has been super fast. Dancing in the Dark, super fast. Both kind of, again, we know they're knuckleheads. Dancing in the Dark from post one of the fastest horses in the race. Well, he's going to make a break. So there's that. Jujubee. What a phenomenal horse. He was the fastest horse on Hambletonian Day. He won the Muscle Hill in 49-4 after he followed Dancing in the Dark and just wore him down and made him make a break. So Dancing in the Dark, I don't know, so much talent this year, wasted. Never showed up in the big spots. Jujubee, we know he's lightning fast. And Quattro de Julio, also lightning fast. So these two hook up early. All of the other horses in this race, not really. They've all had their chances to be really good. Johan Palima, Mona Moore, really fast. These were all Hambletonian horses that we really broke down all year. And then after the Hambletonian, they just have all had meh seasons. Jujubee, Quattro de Julio, they're the ones that have really stepped up. But all of the other horses, there's always something wrong. And here we see really fast on the outside. He's going to end up making a break going into this last turn like he's done before. And Jujubee is just clearly the speed horse. There's really no toughness in this field. There's no horses that are going to wear you down and fight. I think this is just a flat-out speed game. And Jujubee is a full second consistently faster than every horse in this field. Now, Jujubee has to also supplement to the Breeders' Crown, and it looks like he will. There was a post on the Meadowlands site that showed that he is going to be supplement to the Breeders' Crown. Hopefully, Jujubee is just peaking at the right time. And, well, I shouldn't even say the right time. He's been fantastic all year long, but he didn't have to. He's peaking in the Grand Circuit at the right time. Has been kind of on the B-level stakes all year long, never really had to face these horses, and he's pretty fresh, even though he has gone back-to-back, well, not back-to-back, he's gone 2 sub-50 miles as a 3-year-old trotter. That is a phenomenal feat at the Meadowlands, at the Red Mile, the two places where you want to do it on Hambletonian Day, even though it wasn't in the Hambletonian. Everybody will know Jujubee at the end of the Breeders' Crown final. We move on to the mare Pace. What can we say about Lion Sentinel that already hasn't been said? She's the #1 horse. She's been dominant all year long, and she's not in this race. So this is a chance for all of the other horses in her division to kind of step up and make their mark and say, well, Lion Sentinel, we are a horse. Don't forget about us. And that horse is Rocknificent. Poor Rocknificent has 15 starts in 8 seconds, and most of them have been to Lion Sentinel. So she's made a ton of money, and Rocknificent has the rail here, and she's just going to, she's 1-5. She's the best horse in this division minus Lion Sentinel. Peaky Sneaky, Breeders' Crown champ, is going to make her way around the outside. And listen, I'm all for an aggressive move like this, except this was super, super, super aggressive. Notice 27-4 in the first quarter. They're going to end up going 25-2 up the backstretch. Now, I know it's a straightaway, but I don't know if 25-2 is what you want to do here. Like, I don't know if that's a statement or if the clock was wrong, but Nobody's moving, so I'm assuming that it was very fast, and I'm assuming that it's right. You always have to assume that the timer is right, but 25-2 up the backstretch. And then what was interesting to me is they didn't really slow down. I thought that you're asking the horse to straight up sprint for 3/4 of a mile when 25-2 is, that's that's a quarter of a second off the fastest quarter mile ever. So asking them to do that, 26-4 in the final turn, Peaky Sneaky was done. Rocknificent, perfect 2-hole trip. She's just going to pop out, show her dominance of the class minus Lion Sentinel. I don't know if Lion Sentinel versus Rocknificent is going to be a matchup because Lion Sentinel has just proven all year, hey, I'm the best horse. This is my division. I hope Rocknificent can keep up with Lion Sentinel and make it a race, but I wouldn't really expect it, only because Lion Sentinel has proven all year long that when she races, she is the best. She's the best horse we've got, and I don't expect anybody to compete with her. Hopefully it'll be a good final. I don't really expect eliminations for the mare pace, so those horses will go straight to the final. Now we go into the open pace. And all year long, these horses, just like the 3-0 call pace, these are all tough horses. They've all been racing since April. Nicholas Beach, this is the plan. These horses have 15, 16, 14 starts to them. Nicholas Beach took a little time off, and he's going to leave out here. He took a little time off in mid-August, maybe get a refresher. Allywag Hanover has been he's lately been the class of the field, and he's going to bust out from post 10. I don't really understand the move here by Bongiorno to want to retake when you're following the best horse. But sometimes you got to be aggressive. I don't fault the move by Joe. Allywag Hanover has won every race on the lead, so maybe Joe's decision was, well, if we can not put him on the lead, then we'll be able to beat him. Ocean Rock, fresh off his Dayton Derby, feeling his maybe a little hubris right here. Quarter polling. If I'm going to question Joe's move of pulling on the best horse, I'm definitely going to question Ocean Rock and Dan Noble here, moving on a horse that's probably not as good as yours. Ruthless Hanover is going to pull first over here. So Ocean Rock, man, that was a 25-4 and 51-3. Those are, if you can get to the half and 53, then I'm not questioning those moves at all. But you're 25-4, 25-4. That's too much. That's a bad judgment call by Joe and Dan, I think, and it really cost them. Those two horses have nothing left. Allywag Hanover is gonna make his way zigzag through, and he's just waiting for room, and he just explodes here. This is the plan coming up on the outside with Yannick Gingras. All year long, that horse has fought. I expect him to be there in the Breeders' Crown final. But Allywag Hanover, again, just the class of the field. Everybody else had a chance to prove that they're with him, and 46-4, just a dominant effort. Allywag Hanover didn't need anybody. Now all you did was show that I could go off the pace like he did on Hambletonian Day in the Sam McKee Memorial. I could win on the lead. I could win out of post 10. And I could win boxed in. So all you did was show that Allywag Hanover has another gear to his arsenal, another weapon in the chamber. So how are you going to beat Allywag Hanover? That's what I want to know. Even if he draws post 10, he can bust out of there. He can go on the lead. He can race from behind. He can race in a hole. He can race uncovered. He can race in uncomfortable situations. How are you going to beat Allywag Hanover? That's my question. We move on to the mare trot. All year long, it's been Atlanta and Manchego and When Doves Cry. Well, Manchego's retired, so now it's Atlanta and When Doves Cry. And these two mares have also been battling the open trotters. So it's not just a mare. They've only been fighting the mares. They've been fighting the boys all year long, and both have won. Both have been defeated. So these two unbelievable superstar fillies. I mean, we've been Hambletonian champ, Hambletonian Oaks champs. Neither one have won a Breeders' Crown. How about that? Think about how amazing these two fillies are. Neither one have won a Breeders' Crown. One of them will. I think it's safe to say one of them is finally going to win a Breeders' Crown, because When Doves Cry in Atlanta, they're the two stars of this division. Atlanta here just trots away from When Doves Cry. When Doves Cry, I mean, listen, she gets beat by 3 lengths here, but 149 flat by Atlanta. When Doves Cry trots in 49 on a piece. Those two are going to be the superstars of the field. Now, it's interesting because the open trot, and we're going to get to that, is not a superstar studded field. It's a lot of great trotters. But what's Atlanta going to do? She's never raced in the Breeders' Crown Mare Trot. She's only raced in the open trot the last couple of years. We know that Weaver and company love to race their mares in the open trot, try and get that open trot. Hanover went from the mare trot to the open trot, won both back to back. Atlanta never raced in the mare trot. Is she going to stay in the mare trot? Is she going to try the Breeders' Crown open trot? Is When Doves Cry going to try the open trot? Or is she going to stay in the mare trot? Now remember, the mare trot goes for half the money. So I think that Weaver's kind of thought process is, well, if we finish second in the open trot, it's the same purse money as winning the mare trot. The only difference is you have that title, and I would assume that at some point these great mares are going to go off into the breeding shed, and having a Breeders' Crown championship, even if it's a mare trot versus an open trot, that is still a nice feather in your cap for breeding purposes. So I would almost expect Atlanta to stay in the mare trot, and When Doves Cry to try the open trot. That's it. If I was kind of guessing here, that's what I would, because I think When Doves Cry maybe has another year or two of racing, and she could eventually dive back into the mare trot next year and maybe get that Breeders' Crown championship. But we're having this discussion because the open trot is just okay. A lot of great open trotters, but we have a new addition, possibly, maybe. Ecuridi, the horse from Europe, came over, he did his quarantine, he did his training, he's ready to rock and roll. This was his North American debut for Okas Fonstedt. He's on post 6. Man, all these horses come from Europe. They all have the same gait. They all look the same. They all look beautiful. He just smokes out of there, and that's pretty much going to be the race. I mean, this is Oka's best horse, Oka's best race, when he's on the lead, when he could just smoke the race car. And we have Guardian Angel Os, we have Forbidden Trade, we have Mission Accepted. There's a bunch of okay horses that earlier in the year were really good, but they've really just been okay. Beads, Back of the Neck. Beads has had a little bit of a time off. He took the summer off, and this was his first race back. Normally, he's very aggressive. Dave Miller kind of skimmed the cones with him on this race. He got into a little bit of traffic. Guardian Angel Os gets really bad on the left line, almost unsteerable for Brian Sears as we move forward here. But Beads, I expect he's a knucklehead. We've seen him trot in 50, and we've seen him make a break. So Beads, maybe this was just a test race and see how he's going to be for the Breeders' Crown. We expect that he will be one of the horses that, hey, if he wins the Breeders' Crown, we're not going to be shocked at all. He won the Hambletonian maturity earlier in the year. Back of the Neck, he was really good leading into the Hambletonian. He's won a lot of open trot events. Another horse that never really kind of made his stamp. He's just always there. Forbidden Trade, another horse that has, he's a Hambletonian champ. He knows how to win, and he's going to close really strong here. So maybe Beads and Forbidden Trade, these were those races that were just like, well, let's just get ready for the Breeders' Crown. And again, Beads and Forbidden Trade side by side here the whole stretch, and they just pass everybody. They pass Back in the Neck. They pass all the other horses. So Beads and Forbidden Trade, they're going to be a kind of an interesting what's going to happen with those two in the Breeders' Crown. But Ecuridi from Denmark, is he going to supplement to the Breeders' Crown? It would make sense of why would they get him ready? Why would they race in Lexington? Why do all this stuff to race one race? We'll find out. The supplements are due within a couple of days. The entry box closes. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to supplement. So I have 4 horses supplementing to the Breeders' Crown. Hot Mess Express in the 3-year-old filly pace, Akiri D in the open trot, Katie's Lucky Day in the 3-year-old filly trot, and Juju B in the 3-year-old colt trot. The most supplement winners has been 2, multiple years. Multiple times it's happened where horses supplemented and 2 of them won in the same year. We've never had 3. It's quite possible we could have 4 supplemental winners. I wouldn't be shocked if any of these 4 just one going away. The supplemental entries are due Monday, October 18th. You have to declare by noon, and then Tuesday, October 19th, that's when all of the entries will be due for the draw. So again, I expect 9 out of the 12 events to have a limbs, and Tuesday afternoon we will have all of the announcements for the races, for the draw, all that fun stuff. And then we kick it off Friday, October 22nd with the 2-year-old limbs. So that's when everything goes down. After that, we'll be back with another weekend update